My name is Erik Ethington. I'm from Salt Lake City, Utah. I first got involved in the community a little over 2 years ago when I actually went to the Utah Pride Center and saw one of their youth programs for homeless LGBT youth. And I remembered sitting there watching those kids who were 14 to 18 and thinking about how we don't have a homeless youth shelter here. So by law, after a certain time at night, they have to kick them out at the end of the day and they have to go find their own place to sleep. And just watching them struck home for me because that's where I was when I was 17. But that was, I think, the moment where I watched them and said something needs to be done about them. No other kids need to go through what they're going through, what I went through, what so many of us have gone through. Grew up in a very Mormon household, and when I came out, my father threw me out of the house, and fortunately I had friends who took me in and took care of me. So I actually told my mother first, and I remember she broke down in tears and didn't know what to say. And I got so scared I ran out of the house and ran over to my best friend's house and told her that I just told my mother. And then that night when I came back, my mom and my younger siblings weren't home, and just my dad was there. And he pulled me in the car, drove up the canyon to the top of the canyon, which is like 3 miles up the canyon, and just sat in a parking lot and said, "Tell me this isn't true. Tell me you're not gay." And I said, "Dad, I am. It's the way it is." And he gave me 2 choices at that point. He said, "You can get this fixed, or you can get out of the house." And I don't know how I found the courage to do this at 17, but I said, "No, this is who I am, and I like who I am. And I'm not going to try and fix myself." Because I'd already been trying that on my own for the last 4 or 5 years. And so we drove home. He said, "Go fill up your backpack and get out." And that was it. I was out. It only lasted a few weeks until I think it was my mom convinced him to let me back in the house. But once it got to that point, it was no topic. This is, do not ever discuss this. Do not ever tell anybody. Do not hang out with your friends anymore, which I still did. But don't be around any of these bad influences. You're still going to go on a mission. You're still going to fulfill all your church callings, and you're never going to talk about it. Always, before anything, never tell anybody. My parents divorced several years later, and the moment they did, everything changed. My mom left the church. My younger siblings all left the church and said, "We were only there because he made us go." So now it's actually great. My mom and my sisters actually came to Pride with me for the first time this year, which was very cool. My dad and I don't talk. He's now a member of a bishopric in California. He moved out there just before Proposition 8 and was very involved in the Yes on 8 campaign. My younger brother lives with him. My younger brother's 17, and he and I are still close. And he knows that I'm bisexual, and he's very supportive of me when he's here. But out there, it's still not a choice for him. So he'd send me texts while he's at these Yes on 8 rallies that he was forced to go to, just saying, "This is such bullshit. I hate this." So, but it's hard knowing that he's in that environment, being told by this man who supposedly is my father, that he should love me but not support anything that I'm doing because I'm just confused, and I'm obviously not happy because I'm not living the way I know that I'm supposed to be living. So it's the most important thing I think that everybody is doing, is getting to that point where no parent thinks that anymore, where they think that, "Oh, my son or my daughter is still my son or daughter, and what difference does this make? I love them just the same.